and the other one they got recalls they got to work on and stuff. And the goal is to get it done by today. Like we do have a time frame that we're trying to aim for so that it doesn't interrupt our scheduling with work and stuff this weekend.
Did as we hola, good morning. Did we? I know you'd posted where we usually posted. You sent to the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. To oh hey, can you pin that link?
Yeah, probably.
That'd be awesome.
Sounds like something I do.
So I'm still waiting for my shirt, Rob. I was totally
still waiting. When did you order it?
I ordered it a while ago. It was supposed to arrive by Wednesday, and I've yet to see anything happen yet. So I don't know
what's
up.
In the mail? Is it in the mail?
It should be. I gotta look at the tracking again. So.
Might be, yeah, because your individual post office things are something separate, but
yeah, but it depends on who it's coming from. So it's coming from USPS.
Yeah, and I think the ones to New York were shipping out of Texas.
Yeah, I think Printify. That's the company, right?
Yeah.
So it is tracking now for Monday, June 9th. From Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay.
Well, it originated from El Paso.
Did you pay for economy or just standard shipping?
I just paid standard shipping. Okay,
I don't know because by default it's on standard, and then there's economy, which is even slower. But
yeah, I didn't do anything.
Like $2.
I just went click, 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 done. You know what I mean? I did one of those situations. Yep. So click, as of right now, it's in transit, so it doesn't have a place. So, but it was on the 5th. It was in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
And the last time they said anything was at 1:44 p.m. on June 5th, and it's what? That was yesterday.
Yeah,
that was yesterday. So the good news is that it should arrive before I leave.
Yeah. Oh no, it's absolutely should. Everybody's been getting them pretty quick. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know when yours was ordered, but it usually takes. What happens is when orders are placed once every 24 hours, it batches anything and sends them off to production, and then the production takes 1 to 2 days, and then it typically ships out depending upon where you're at.
Yeah, because in this day and age now, we don't have to have T-shirts ready for being picked up. Now they just make them on the spot because they just they just need the shirt. They got all the other stuff.
Well, because now there's a difference. These designs are used. They're basically printed on. Yeah. So it's not like the old days where you did silk screening, where you had to, when you sent a shirt to production, you had to do silk screening. You had to do it in large batches to be cost effective, and every color was a different pass over to silk screen and stuff. It's a lot different now for these types of print on demands.
Yeah, I remember those days. I did a course on silk screen shirts, and I did a few of them in my time. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, silk screening is still more durable in the long run, but you're limited.
4 colors. Really 3, but 4 colors.
Mark, is that a Turok hat?
Oh, yeah.
No freaking way, says JSS Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
See, it says it right there. No way. To which Mark replied, way.
Yep.
Way.
Way.
Yeah. I got my I know Mark loves this color. Even my wife said when she got this, when she saw
purple is vibrant.
This has got the cover on the back, and I got both the 2 colors. I got both purple and the black. My wife saw them both. She said, "Holy snikes, that purple is banger." The art on the back pop like crazy.
And the purple color is like super close to the ribbon, like it, so it looks good. How it just, I feel like it gives it that negative space effect that a lot of the artists do on their covers. So
Right.
it just flows right into the image on the back of the shirt.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Circumstance.
Look at him.
Hey, Marcus.
It's a Marcus.
Yeah, he's retiring off YouTube. It's unfortunate.
What?
Yeah.
Where am I going to get my FOC information?
Well, same place we did before. Definitely not for Marcus. Most inconsistent FOC guy in the game. Now, if you're looking,
I think there's some consistency in the videos.
You need to be more concerned with where you're going to get your chill at, because he had the chill part covered. But yeah, he said he's going to be taking a little break from.
Oh, a hiatus, not retiring.
Yeah, Rob, that's what they all say, right? Like, I'm just going to take a year off from school. I'll go to college next year.
Well, yeah, and then next thing you know, they're on OnlyFans.
Yep. Marcus will be selling feet picture by this time next year.
Well, taking a hiatus is always it's a good thing.
Well,
I've done it.
Depends upon what you're trying to do.
That is also true.
Oh, good googly moogly.
It's that time of year. It's that time of year where kids are out of school. It's hotter outside.
Oh, yeah. And then this is a different color purple, so this will still stand out from the purple.
Those all show up today, Rob.
Nice. I'm glad to hear. I shipped those UPS just that way they wouldn't get hung up in the U.S. mail in Georgia.
Mm.
Wanted to make sure that they got to you in time.
You probably chose wisely on that.
Well, sometimes you just never know.
On my end, I do know. I always know.
It's like I sent a sketch cover, a blank, to an artist in Italy recently. That's was working on something, and then after, it probably been like 4 weeks, I got a message from the art rep telling me that, hey, because I had copied the art rep on the tracking number. He says, this thing it arrived in Italy like 3 weeks ago, but hasn't moved. You might want to check on it. And so, yeah, try to do what you can. You can't do a lot of good tracking or contact stuff on international mail. And I was like, oh, forget it. I'll just send another blank. I have another one, and sent that one instead via UPS instead of mail. Delivered super quick. So he's got that. He's working on it. Meanwhile, the first one is still, who knows? If it ever shows up, I don't know what'll. Maybe I'll have to decide to buy a second one. Or maybe it'll show up before he sends back the one he did. He can send them both back. Then I'd have my blank back. Well, anyways, it would have been nice if unfortunately, it's like, well, I had another. It's a commission of Batgirl in the bombshells variant, and I was hoping
he's gonna recreate the same suit design that they did for that cover set, the bombshell cover
potentially.
Set.
And so that's what I asked for, and so he was gonna do that, and I had sent him initially a Batman and Batgirl trade dress, figuring that'd be great, but didn't work. So I had to send him a regular Batman and Robin one because that's what I have a ton of leftover backups of. I don't have. That was the only Batman and Batgirl one I had. Oh well, it'll survive. Have I entered the epic giveaway yet? What, pray tell, Legion of Comics, is the epic summer giveaway?
It's a big ass giveaway. Big old giveaway.
Well, that's just very informative. And
it looks like that. Check out that video. Make sure y'all enter to win.
Wow, your energy levels are infectious, sir.
Yeah, they're super low right now, man. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, you need I don't know.
I think it's because like I woke up already thinking about going and dropping all this money today.
Oh well, that's always exciting. Yeah, unless you really are interested in what you're getting. If it's just like you feel it's a necessity and not something that you're excited about, then yeah, I understand.
I think either way, this would be the same feeling from me. So it's just something it's like a splinter in my day schedule right now. I just need to get to the other side of it.
Well, yeah, some people view the cons of the future aspect of digging through legal contracts a little differently than I do.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't get me off. Slinging them, Drew. Slinging them.
You giving away that big ass?
Giving away big asses? Slinging them.
Yeah, I do dig it. I don't care for the interior as much as far as like the stories on the Bombshell stuff, but the covers are all pretty cool. I've kind of pick them up whenever I find them here and there, just because they're fun covers. A little diesel punk for you. What else we got going on? What happened this week? Anything cool come out? I think you're kind of in the summer hiatus for certain shows.
I didn't think about. I was thinking about how nothing's really going on TV right now.
For me, there is. I've been like binging, getting caught up on Doctor Who because there was the season finale had ended, and there was a big. I got spoiled for the ending, and I was like, oh, what? I gotta go see this now. So I've been binging that. Last night I watched all the way Doctor Who. So now I just have the final episodes left to watch. So it was hard last night at midnight not to watch the final. No, I said it. It was difficult last night not to watch the final episode, but I was like, oh, it's midnight. I gotta wake up in 4 hours. We take a nap before instead of watching this final episode.
Well, I heard that they released, I don't know if it was a special or just the finale for limited screenings over in the UK, and it did like 350 million or something like that. Had a huge turnout for some showing that they did, special showing. It's kind of like becoming a more normal occurrence to take TV shows that are doing well and find ways to do limited releases in theaters for them.
I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, I have tickets this Sunday to go see Dogma for the re-release of that now that it's out of Weinstein's control. And so the wife and I Sunday night we're gonna go out, go have dinner, go see some Kevin Smith craziness.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, I like it.
It's definitely one of Kevin Smith's better ones, that's for sure.
So yeah, see, Drew's reminding us that Ironheart's coming out soon. I know you're excited for that, Mark. I can tell it all over your face.
I'm as excited as anybody, which is not at all.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, I'll watch it.
Ironheart.
Yeah, I'll watch it. But
I'll give it a look to see. Hopefully it's entertaining, and even if it's garbage, hopefully it's still presented in a way that entertains you while watching. You know,
at least
you can have fun.
It can be watchable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can at least be watchable versus Secret Invasion, which
watch Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto and just sit there and laugh. I really have a feeling that they're going to take Ironheart like serious in a manner that you can't take it serious, if that makes sense. It's going to be hard to take serious.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. There's just zero hype for the character.
No, there's never been any hype for that character.
Even in comics, I don't think.
Yeah, they did that promotional thing where they had Ryan Coogler talking about like how could he's executive producer on it because it's like Wakanda adjacent and stuff from being in the second movie, and he says in that little promotional thing, he's like, and I remember at the comic shops when this character came out, she was a huge hit, made a spot. This character is an epic failure of a character from. It's never been a huge hit. People never anything canceled series, completely bailed on the character, and like it's a character that resonated with nobody, speaks to nobody, has no fan base. I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, so there's always that one person out there like, oh, I liked it. Yeah, but I like Cheetos, but I would never go out and buy them as something that I want. Like it's just something that I can eat it.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad. I'm glad I had hit this. I had the that issue number 1 of the or not issue 1, but the Iron Man, whatever it was, issue 7, the Age of Apocalypse variant is what we had picked up at the LCS at the time. So I, only paid cover price for the book, which of course at one point that book ran up to like $1,000. I was glad to sell it back then.
Talking about the one with the iron suit like all hung up and being worked on?
No. This was the B cover. It was the Age of Apocalypse variant. So it was like this.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, but anyways,
I love Drew's very interesting, very Drew take.
Front end of Secret Invasion was actually good.
You
know what?
It meandered and went downhill drastically.
If it meandered and went downhill drastically in the back end, then I'm really in shit creek because I have tried to watch 3 different occasions and I have not gotten past the first episode of Secret Invasion without just falling asleep.
The first episode was a bore fest, and it meandered from the very beginning. Like that's a good term to put to it because that whole show, like the writing was very meandering. Like it just.
Disney Plus will show you that I've watched 3 episodes, but the second and third episode were with my eyes closed because I fell asleep during episode 1 and it just kept playing. So
just a little bit. Did you see her? Yeah, this looks like a gypsy. Very good.
But I don't know. I think I saw the clip the other day. Popped up on something I was on with Rhodey being rescued or something. And I was like, oh, spoil it.
My favorite clip is watching Nick Fury make out with a scroll.
I mean, I feel like I should go back and try to watch it again still, even though I know it doesn't mean squat.
Yeah, I think that's why we got the entire Marvel Now series. It's a good assessment. The only reason you have Ironheart is the success of Miles. So yeah, when something works, you try to recreate it. And we had the whole Marvel Now era where they just like, you know what, people want new. Let's give them new. Captain America is now the Falcon. Thor is now Jane Foster. Hulk is now Amadeus. Iron Man is now Ironheart. Nova is now Sam. Like they just did, they went across the whole catalog of popular potential characters and gave fans shit that didn't resonate or they didn't enjoy. Miles kind of happened organically too. The Ultimate Peter Parker storyline went the way it went. He died.
Yeah, and it was already in. And it was already in an alternate universe. It wasn't
in an alternate universe canon, ongoing. This is just the chain of events, like.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, hey, let's do something now in the main universe and let's displace these main characters,
Drew said, I liked Ironheart and Iron Man and Champions, and even when she showed up in events throughout Marvel, her solo series was just boring. Yeah, that's a good observation. Like I enjoy Miss Marvel when she pops up and stuff.
Yeah,
like Kamala Khan's a fine character to pop up and stuff. There's a lot of characters that just really don't, even in literature, even in comic books, they don't command the presence of a front runner. There's just not for whatever reason, they don't resonate. They don't
Anybody from the oceans.
They don't carry. Oh, watch your mouth, Rob. They don't carry. they just don't carry. Like, I can, like, so she's like a side character, you know, she's a supporting cast member.
I mean, let's be honest. The Atlanteans, just, I mean, they struggle.
You're thinking of Marvel Comics, is what you're thinking of.
No, I'm thinking both DC and Marvel. Both characters have their ups and downs, and they have their challenges, but they're not. They're oftentimes thought of by the bulk of the fan base as B tier characters.
I think that they definitely got that stigma on them. They even got that goofy stigma. There's a whole generation there that grew up watching Aquaman,
Super Friends,
on the Super Friends, and even a spinoff show. Like back in the 60s, it wasn't even the Trinity. It was Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman that were leading the Super Friends, and Aquaman had his own show. But then as people got older, and then smaller kids grew up. They grew up looking at this, thinking, "Oh, my parents watch this. This is goofy. I'm into these other things: Transformers, Thundercats, He-Man." So you look back on that and think it's a little goofy, and you get shows like Entourage that even play with the joke and stuff like that. And then Jeff Johns came around, and he actually kind of toughened up the concept after a while of it just like flopping like a fish out of water. And then you saw what the movie did. The movie like showed that people were taking the character serious, did over $1 billion. They made sure to put Jason Momoa on a seahorse to show you that it's not the joke of him. He ride the seahorse, which was goofy back in the day. You know, it was literally ridden like a normal horse, but just underwater. But when they did this, and made the seahorse roar like a lion, they kind of...
wait, that was the second part. The first part was it fucking neighed like a horse.
Listen, did it? It did. It did. Yes. They toughened it up a little bit. You know?
I ain't ever seen a seahorse that big, that's for sure.
Yeah. It got a little bit different. And Jeremy Adams right now is doing killer things.
I know that people give. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that.
Oh, I was just gonna comment on like this thing about the Heroes Con chat. It's like I know that people find it humorous at times. The way I kind of like will jump in there on that, but let's be honest. There's so many people in that chat that you all secretly love the fact that that's the one fucking chat you can go into that's not blown up with everybody posting, "Oh, go watch my video and go do this."
Posting is crazy. Like the cool thing about the chats are when the conversations they get going, and I'll post links in there. I've got to where I just post my
I know when Mark posts because all of a sudden I'll look at my phone and it says 9 notifications and it's on. I'll go, oh, look at that! I'll
post for that live stream on Tuesdays. I try to promote that one pretty heavily. There's live giveaways in there every week, so I'm trying to like put that out there. That's just a fun stream, and that's that DC stream, which is it served the channel well. You know, I think that without that stream, I don't know if DC Comics could have reached out to me to do those collaboration videos and stuff. So
when you talk to them next, can you ask them when they're going to start delivering so that way we can have comics on Tuesday on the West Coast? My DC is supposed to be delivered today to the stores.
Today's Friday, so Lunar's at the shop.
So they're a few days late.
Yeah, Lunar's at the shop already for next week.
No. We're still waiting for this week's.
Well, just like what you were pointing out with Izzy, that's going to be a mail thing probably.
Well, it means they sure didn't ship it out in time for it to get.
No. Can't control the weather and you can't control the mail. All you can do is ship it out. Remember, Sideways and Damage from Metal. I do. The big Hulk knockoff guy. It's Damage.
I did not read really any of those that any of those metal books from DC have just. I've gotten to the point now where I've just so steered clear of just about any event series. I'm just like, man, you just this ultimately, at the end of the day, it achieves almost nothing, has no long-term lasting impact, and it's just an attempt to try to get me to buy even more books, and I'm already buying more than I probably should.
I try not to promote on any of those chats. That's why my page is for, and I can pay for ads. So, yeah, dude, it kills me like when people are like actively in the middle of a conversation, and the person who wants to share, and not even just like a stream or a video they're about to do, but they're sharing stuff that's not happening until a week later, or they're just sharing posts or funny reels that they enjoy. I don't. This could be just me, but when I'm scrolling on Instagram, it's my algorithm. It's showing me things that I like, that I'm into, and I'll shoot pop something funny, or I'll shoot like a friend, like specifically something funny that I think that they would think is funny. But I'm not like thinking that everybody enjoys my algorithm. It's my algorithm. So just blasting the chat with your algorithm is wild to me.
I very rarely are gonna we'll repost a reel or something to a chat unless it's A, just really I thought was funny, and B, is actually related to that particular chat.
Oh, Rob, craziest thing ever I've seen happen. This dude posted a link, or it was either a link to a YouTube video or a link to something he had on Instagram. And when it comes through, it says private. And I told him, I responded like, hey, it says private. People aren't able to see it. And he says, oh, I'm aware. My followers can see it, though. Then why are you posting it to a public thing? Like, if your followers see your followers, you don't, like, what? The dumbest thing I'd ever seen. Aquaman was devoid of substance, but was perfectly paced as a blockbuster action flick. Every time the audience has a second to question the flimsy exposition, a wall explodes and a fight starts. 5-star. You do have a very unique eye for TV show and cinema.
I honestly
there
can't.
Was a lot of great exposition in that Aquaman movie. You'd have those moments and the cool little flashback scenes with Atlantis and stuff, or the little meetup at the shipwreck, and it definitely expertly paced. That's for sure. That was one of the things that I think resonated with a lot of people. For me, it was like that globe-trotting exploration feel that you would get with like a Indiana Jones. Like you'd have those scenes of like the map, and you'd see like little dots moving across the map to let you know that Indy was traveling. It reminded me of those things. Can you promote any new pillows on My Heroes Con chat? They're made from dog hair from Mark's Grooming. We call them Sleeping with Dogs.
I heard he's also got an energy drink coming up called Hair of the Dog. That's going to be
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Well, there you are then. Hey there. And I wish I didn't do this. I've been trying to promote C3. People want to be able to find it easily.
No, tag away for C3.
Yeah, Comic Screen Cancer is going to be, and at Heroes Con is going to be a blast. It always is.
You
Heroes
saw
Con.
the oh shit! I need to call DJ.
But Heroes is always a blast to begin with. But damn it, this year. I don't know. I'm excited. It's really weird. I have to be very careful. I've gotten carried away with booking advanced commissions. And so now I gotta stop because if I book any more, I'm not gonna have money to pick up any books
or lunch.
No, that's fine. But even if I don't get a big book this year right now, I will be doing well. I think I just did because I added another one So now I'm like up to like 9 books to commissions being picked up at Heroes. So,
hey, I'm willing to do more commissions.
I've got multiple Izzies already.
I know you do.
Well, it was like I thought I was done, and then I saw Wilfredo Torres post that he was taking some, even though he's not going to be there on Sunday. And his rates are so good.
Yeah, I saw his rates. I did see his rates.
Yeah, he did a Rocketeer last. He was the one who did the Rocketeer for me last year. That I said no, dude. He like tried to only charge me $65, and I was like, you're insane. I mean, you deserve more than that. So, anyways, I was like, oh, dude, this guy's fun, and his style fit something else that I wanted done. So I'm like, oh, come on, buddy, I'll get you lined up.
We'll be doing another C3 announcement and drop today, by the way.
Oh, cool.
I've been talking
way to tease it. I like it.
Yeah, I've been talking with someone. I just thought, like, since last night when I was talking to him, I just like, oh, let me look at this. I'm like, oh well, shit, we're doing that today.
Is that tonight in the mix?
No, like I'm waiting to get. I just messaged what time, so I just messaged DJ so he could put together the graphics and start building on that end. So I'm going to message Austin.
Nice. So really what we're saying is that people should be on the edge of their seat and make sure they're checking their Instagram regularly and following the Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram to be able to get that latest news that drops today about what's going on at Heroes Con with Comics Curing Cancer. And while you're at it, go ahead and click that link at the top. Check out the print store. You still have just enough time to get your orders in and get them shipped to you in time for Heroes Con in just 2 weeks from now. Look at this riveting conversation. No, I know that Mark is engaged on a different thing, and Izzy's busy drawing or whatever, and yeah, there you are then. And it's just me. I'll fill some air.
Well, I'm texting like 3 people at one time to make sure.
No. I get it.
Coordinating this stuff is.
I'm not. Who's hosting the live show here? I mean, it's like, why would?
Well, you know how it is. It's the Legion Lair with Robert Fatstacks.
Wow, going with the fucking full name, you bastard. You smell. Oh.
Well, I figured, since news dropped about what was it yesterday with movie tickets for Fantastic Four, might as well just finish this thing off.
Just light it on fire, it'd be a lot quicker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's part of it.
He's not roasting marshmallows.
No. It's there. It's right here. Look at it right there. It's just I didn't get to it.
I see it.
It's there.
You just haven't drawn the stick through it yet. It's there.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah.
Got it.
Also, real quick, good morning to Stephen with a C. Good morning, Brother John. Dale. I see that Dale and Brother John got out of bed at the same time, kicked the other one out, and joined the panel or joined the stream. Thank y'all for being here. Oh, Rob, what do we got to do to get these super chats rolling this week? We were on fire last week.
I don't know. People have.
Last week was awesome. So, real quick, I do want to say that was everyone kind of had like just a fun day of just throwing out super chats and gifting memberships and stuff. We threw a bunch of new clips in there and everything. It was just it was really fun, and I appreciate it a whole lot. People
look at you pandering,
and yeah, feel free to do it again. Got more clips.
They're saving up to do it on a show where it goes to charity.
Yeah. What you should do for that freaking Only Slab show is you need to set up a Streamlabs link. It's like it would run like an automatic thing in the chat, but that way YouTube doesn't take 30% of those donations. It would just be like it'd be the same thing. Super chatting, putting a comment, you'd see it on the Streamlabs in all that stuff. I think you'd even be able to put it up on your screen, but it would just give you a bigger cut.
Did you see how much Streamlabs takes from it though?
It's less than StreamYard, isn't it?
I'm sure it's less.
StreamYard doesn't take any. It's YouTube.
Yeah, StreamYard.
No, I meant YouTube. I'm sorry, and I don't mean Streamlabs specifically. There's this other one that you can run. Streamlabs is like a StreamYard alternative. There's just this program. I think it's like someone created it for non-monetized channels, so they can run not like monetized features. It just goes elsewhere.
I know some people do Patreon and stuff, but
yeah,
this is something that interacts in your live chat.
I just do. I'm just using what's simple for simple.
Yeah, that's why I said it would be work.
Yeah.
Streamlabs is probably the most simple out of all of them.
That's what people say about you.
I am the most simple out of all of them.
So
my wife tells me that all the time. You're easy.
Oh, say easy and simple are two different things, but
that is also true.
When mom,
I have no problem poking at myself. I'm okay with
when mom used to describe me as a simple child, it was like, oh no. Actually, when she still does, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Oh, you simple poor child.
Dale just goes around and uses an old coffee can to panhandle for change.
That work?
You define an old metal coffee can. That's bravo to you. I haven't bought coffee at the grocery store in a long ass time, but I gotta imagine they're all plastic these days. Probably I haven't seen
mine's glass.
Oh well, you're probably using like Taster's Choice instant coffee or something.
I have. I've told you it's that yellow label. It's espresso. It's, I can't even say the word because I'm Southern, but it's like Bucello or something like that.
Bustero.
That might be it. I can't.
That is it.
Confirm it because I'm too.
I could confirm that as a Puerto Rican. It's Cafe Bustero.
I do remember though, like growing up, my family would have the U-Ban, buy cans of U-Ban, and then they'd you had to use a can opener, get that damn thing open or whatever, and then they had a plastic lid went over it. And after they were done with the coffee, they either became grease containers under the sink, or they became or the kids would take them. And we got old paint. We were given. We'd go to grandma's house. She'd give us a coffee can, fill it with water, and give us an old paintbrush. And we'd go out and we'd like pretend we're painting the fence. I don't understand why we thought that was fun, but that was
training.
That was the time. That was the days before the internet, when you could give a can of water and a paintbrush, send them outside to a fence, and watch them go at it for hours.
Imagine how much could you get done if they actually put paint in there for you,
or put some wood stain.
Yeah, nowadays they say things like, "So what is my ROI if I do this?" And
exactly. Yeah.
What's the hashtag for this activity?
Cardstock says, "I'm Southern" is a perfect excuse for ignorance and pronunciation. Yes, it is. I completely agree with you. And I don't know if it's an excuse more than it's a reason. $5 super chat coming in hot and heavy from Drew Manchu. Appreciate that, homie. You get the Godzilla getting shot in the face clip. Which,
who's that from? From Ronzilla?
That's from Monarch, Legacy of the Monsters.
That is funny. Yesterday I started watching it again.
There you go. Cafe Bustelo. That's it. Bustelo.
Cafe Bustero. Yeah, it's not a cafe. It's a cafe.
So after listening to two English-speaking American men pronounce that word, Cardstock, how do you feel about it now? Cafe Bustelo. Say it again, Izzy.
Cafe. So it's cafe.
So finish the whole thing.
Cafe Bustero.
Cafe Bustelo. So I think I'm doing a little bit better than Izzy on this one.
No, it's Cafe Bustero.
Because again, we are two English-speaking American men reading the same word, and that's how that just went. That's like having me and Izzy go to an Italian restaurant and ordering the mozzarella sticks, and Izzy walks in. He's like, "Hey, thanks, I'm doing good. I would like a water. My wife would like a sweet tea, and can we get some mozzarella sticks?"
Mozzarella.
Who talks like that?
I say mozzarella.
You don't go to France and they're like, let's go to the McDonald's. They don't do that. They just
Le McDonald's. The Le McDonald's.
Their own language. You speak it in your own dialect.
First of all, who's going to McDonald's in France?
I think McDonald's kind of changes.
People do.
Yeah, I think it kind of changes all over the place, right? Diversity.
Answer.
Good morning.
You get a Royale with cheese.
To answer the question here on talking about commissions and how do I work deals in advance? Well, a lot of the artists are posting either that some of them are posting about HeroesCon and saying that they have their commissions open on Instagram, or also HeroesCon published, in addition to the regular list, they have a list of artists that basically have a price guide posted that are taking commissions and whatnot, or are going to be doing signature stuff. So that's a posted prices. And those ones that are taking commissions and stuff on there typically have contact information.
Yeah. If you go to the HeroesCon website, you'll see a big tab where you can just look at the artists' pricing and lists and find a lot of these contact things.
So some of them, it's Instagram, some of it's sometimes it's an email, sometimes it's through their rep or through their web page or whatever contact stuff. Or if there's just somebody that I see their name announced, maybe they haven't posted there, but I know I'm interested in their stuff. Then again, through Instagram, usually I'll reach out and I'll just simply ask them. I say, "Hey, I see you're going to be at HeroesCon. By any chance, are you taking commissions?" And to start the conversation up and go from there. Some of them, earlier on, at this point now, nobody's having you ship anything, but on some of them earlier on, they were taking advanced commissions and stuff. I shipped books out to them already. So when they were working on them and completing them before the con, which means that they're not being interrupted throughout the stuff doing it. And generally, you get something pretty cool. But I do have several that are also. I got to go Friday morning or Thursday. Got to drop off copies.
I'll have the Mick Escargot and fries from here and a Dr. Pepper. Monster Ella in the Hood. This was a good one. This one got me. La Royale with Brie. Yeah, language is fun.
The one thing that's annoying is they still haven't announced yet where the artists are in where their tables.
Yeah, they did. TBD, isn't that a place?
Yeah, they're all at the same table.
It's on TBD, man. It's like that great TV show called Off the Air. I love that show.
I keep having to go check back because eventually I have when you set up as many commissions as I have, then I start tracking it in a spreadsheet naturally because fat stacks. And so my I like to track not only who do I have, what they're doing, whether or not I need to bring a book. I'm supposed to bring a book, or whether I've already sent them a book, whether I've already paid, or if a deposit in full, whatever, or whether or not I still owe them.
What's
and
their
then
color size?
But where they're going to be at. So I got to drop off these books for some of these guys or pick them up. Either way, just don't have it.
Back door. Got one, Dale.
I wonder who's going to get the bathroom slot this year. I'm always curious, and always kind of feel bad for the people that get posted right next to the bathroom, but then at the same time they get the guaranteed best foot traffic.
Yeah, so it's usually some independent because it's the table up against the wall. So
it's more like who gets the food spot.
Nobody.
There isn't.
They segregate the food spot out. Like there's tables and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of Baltimore then.
Yeah, because at Heroes there is a on the floor there is a food
court
thing. Well, on the convention floor there's a food vendor that's there that's selling the basic, hot dog, chicken tenders, fries,
They got a brat.
drinks.
They got a brat.
Yeah, but otherwise you exit the floor and go up into the convention center. It's got the food court,
Starbucks and stuff. But down into the convention, they got like the tables. That's normally where they park the cars to create some space so that people can.
That's that other corner there too. Yeah, because there's one. Well, I think there's two.
Last year was the first year that they took the tables out of the other one, Rob. The one that's kind of like on the side
the
of
artist
the main
alley.
Room. There's like always tables out in front of it, and stuff.
Which was great because that's how I found one of the sketch covers I picked up last year. Was just walking down that aisle to get to that food vendor to get a hot dog, and then going like, oh, I like that. Let me buy that. So
I'm flying in Friday. You guys getting together after the show Friday for drinks. Brian, are you in the Heroes Con chat? Are you on Instagram? So every year we coordinate to get together on Friday night. We've got a place that what's the word called? You're not renting it out.
We have the back. Well, we have a section of the facility that's set up to be a private event. We have a space
rented out. We have the food and drinks all set up, and you need to get in that chat. That's where the largest gathering of people going will be in the same place at the same time.
Still only 35 cents is coordinating that for us this year.
Dave has been doing the work, talking with him and getting the details worked out, but it's all set up, and it just needs the most accurate head count he can get, because I believe this year like the drinks are included with it.
So it's a food and drink package that we got this place. Mm-hmm. So it was for the price, it's the food buffet that's being put out, and then it's basically there's a house wine. And there's also like a beer or two that's
wine, fancy.
Yeah, well, house wine, but yeah. So there's a.
Well, they gonna put ice cubes in it? What does that mean?
Yeah. It means whatever, like local, whatever they got a deal on. You know, $2 chuck for I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, it does include so beer and wine. It may not be your favorite beer, but you know what? You don't like it, then go pay for yourself.
You're
buy your own.
Order off menu, straight from the bar. You can do whatever you want.
What is up, lady?
He's not on Instagram, but Rob has his info to add him.
I do. Okay.
Brian, we'll get this taken care of. Drew says Baltimore has a separate food court. This has a concession stand in the back. That's kind of how Heroes is. They got like it's a big convention venue, so they have the built-in.
I had to disconnect on Brian for a second.
Convention concession things, locations. People like hamburgers, hot dogs, and pizza out of it. But any like food options and choices, you can just go upstairs to the convention center. They got like little Bojangles, the Starbucks, stuff like that.
Sorry, Brian. I had a mental break for a second, Brian, but I got you now.
Driving, but can't wait to see the beautiful faces in 2 weeks. There we go. The finest of boxes of wine. Good morning, Caroline. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
I mean, I just woke up a little sleepy-eyed. Had a little.
You're sleepy. You're sleepy.
Sleepy eyes. Had a little. My work had a party yesterday, and I drank all of 2 mixed drinks and got sauced.
There you go.
I don't really drink that much.
Now we know your limit. One glass of house wine for you.
No, I hate wine. I want you to give me a cocktail, and I just want to get straight to business.
I like that. Efficient.
Girl, I'm not fucking around with no tannins and shit. And no, I don't have a good palate. I don't have a sophisticated palate, a palate that appreciates wine.
Well, it just means you're a cheap date, and I can appreciate that.
Good. I like a good
Or maybe let's not use cheap. Let's just say you're an economical date. How's that?
Is this Durs referring to his heroin addiction?
Looking forward to at least 30 or 40 shots that Friday. Wow. And I don't drink.
I don't drink.
Maybe pictures.
Or maybe he's planning on traveling internationally and needs to get a lot of inoculations.
Yeah, so I figure you guys, I'm going to give you a little science. This morning. There's an enzyme responsible for metabolizing and breaking down that alcohol in your body, and it's called alcohol dehydrogenase. And we know for a fact that it is a very efficient enzyme early on in life, and as you age, it gets less and less effective. And because of that,
like many things in life,
things become less efficient and work less well. So as you age,
thankfully my wife ages with me.
Alcohol is you're not going to wake up. What'd you say with your mom? What'd you say about my mom?
I didn't say nothing about your mom.
Thankfully, my wife's been aging with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, it don't work like this. After about age 27, my body was like, "You're gonna feel like shit anytime you drink."
Durs was talking about taking 30 or 40 shots to the face. That's what he was talking about. I'm sure.
Happy shots.
Yeah, because with the emojis. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Well,
not like a shot, but like a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
some new skin treatment. Nice.
Got you.
Congratulations.
There's so many different shots around here.
I read, what's funny is I don't know that it's funny, but you made me think of it, Caroline, because science. I read an interesting article yesterday. It was yesterday. Well, this week. Let's just leave it at that. It doesn't matter when. Scientists were finding ways to utilize, different variations of ChatGPT to augment and helped them to brainstorm and different things. And so it was specific to cancer research, where they had, done with all their various prompting, set up the stuff with the instructions of stuff, but basically set up the parameters to looking at drugs that are already approved for human use, for that are that aren't super expensive, and look for combinations that would be effective potentially in treating certain cancer cells in breast cancer without causing damage to healthy cells, and had it run various different iterations that allow them to come up with new ideas and stuff, and then do some basic testing and go down, speed up the process of trying to find these things, and found some very different potential hopeful combination of drugs that they wouldn't have normally thought of associating, that when working together could potentially yield inexpensive and effective treatments for different types of cancer down the road. Stuff is very interesting.
Yes.
And even they were talking about how sometimes the hallucinations that ChatGPT can occasionally throw out were helpful at times of actually making certain leaps.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Yeah. So there's really cool stuff, but what we're trying to do these days in cancer is tissue specific targeting with very minimal off target effects. And
thank you, Durs. That'll be on his OnlyFans, will be featured there, and he'll be able to utilize that to help fund a big boy purchase at HeroesCon
for all those shots.
That's right.
Where he takes all the shots. The what is it? The boxing rink is what they call. Yeah, it's really interesting, and like you said, one of the big issues with small drug design or anti-cancer or antiviral drug design is you're concerned about the off-target effects, and so and dosing and things like that. But there have been a lot of creative minds out there that have been looking at different drugs that can have kind of these synergistic properties to where it really becomes gangbusters in the clinic.
No, guys, I just thought it was really interesting.
It is.
And I thought, ooh, it's funny because I find different ways. I know this is I'll get off this topic really fast because I know I'm boring 90% of the people that are tuned in right now. Okay, everybody except for Lady F and I. But it's just finding different ways that people find to utilize it as a tool that can help, that can make expand the ability of research, not to replace traditional researchers or anything else, but just to help make it
enhance
and make leaps progress faster.
I think you're absolutely right.
Especially in taking like this, going, don't try to come up with some completely weird stuff, but look at what's already been approved. Or, stuff that we would be able to go to trial with pretty quick and start or test effective easily after some
already clinic approved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. My friend who is a PhD candidate right now, she bought the full version of ChatGPT because it helps her with writing code for these very complex pipelines that calculate and separate data for whatever.
I have several different tools that I use throughout my day and different bots for various different stuff that for either writing contracts or analyzing contracts and cross-referencing and identifying stuff. Or I was doing one thing the other day, writing, and okay, now rewrite this. This is, I wrote this way, but now this is going to into UK legal document. So write it in the UK legal tenses and languages and stuff, and check cross-reference and check for any red flags or this, and or a whole bunch of reports that we do that are would take me
forever,
take me hours and hours every single month to manually combine data from multiples and then interpret data and stuff, and be able to have it now do it in very short order and automating our audits, because for the manual data, and get higher yield of consistency, not only speed but consistency, right? Now is significantly higher.
My mom uses it.
So much good stuff.
Yeah, she's in computer programming, specifically in the context of like creating software to integrate into Corning for payroll systems and new Corning places that they're developing sites in Amsterdam and China and India. And like, she's got to help them implement all of these payroll program systems to implement. Yeah. And she used that.
So off of the AI front, now we will abandon it because I don't want to bug these poor people. But
back to Heroes Con.
What pop
Screw
culture?
AI.
What? Well, aside from the fact that we found it this week, we also had news that AI is learning how to break its stuff and lie to us to stay alive. But Lady F, what exciting what this week in pop culture has caught your eye?
Okay, there's a girl fight that's happening very publicly on Twitter.
Oh, I know.
The girl fight.
The breakup of when celebrities get together, celebrities break up in glorious fashion.
The girls are fighting, and it is not pretty.
I know what you speak of. We won't go into more detail because we don't really want to evoke.
There was Bennifer. There was, we were pretty upset when we saw Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt break up. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie was fairly acrimonious. There's lots of breakups, and so this one I've been watching.
That's fair.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah,
because I'm not watching it.
Oh well, then you're not online.
And that is good.
I just don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think you know what we're talking about then.
Exactly. I don't know.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's okay. You're gonna be happy as either way with your little pizza rat ways of life. You're gonna be all right. I picked up 2 books for Josh Middleton. I want him to sign at the Heroes Con. These were 75 cents each at McKay's. And
dude, so
I love that
the one
Batgirl.
with the moon in the background is just
Beautiful.
yeah,
he did a run there on that Batgirl series that
were
was
just banger after
incredible.
banger. Yeah, I know. I found this at McKay's for $3.75.
Nice.
You know what? Let me do this. Let me make you bigger. Hold on a second. There. Let's do that.
And this is Nick Cardy. Look, he says Nick Cardy right here.
Nice. What is it? What is she? No.
She says,
"Don't save me, Superman. Save Metropolis."
Well, I don't think he's in a position to save Metropolis right now, as you are falling to the ground.
I think Batgirl should have some stuff in her utility belt. She's pretty fine. She probably doesn't need Superman. She doesn't need a man to save her.
There are probably just tampons on there.
Although I like that she's got a collar on her cape.
Do you? It keeps it fastened to her.
It's so that way she can go into
snap her neck as soon as it catches on something.
No, so when she goes to the finest restaurants, she said, "Well, I'm wearing a collar shirt. It's okay, collared cow." It's just like the Spectre. I've always loved that his cape, no shirt, but he's got a collar on his cloak. Okay.
These were $1.50 each at McKay's because they price all of their Marvel Comic Presents at $1.50. And so I take
great books.
Yeah, by getting the PWS.
We got the bone claws.
Mm-hmm. And then
there you go. Drew Manchu brings up a valid point. Superman can do both. She's just working with Batman, who's used to can only do one.
I found
Crimson
Nun number 3. I want to get the 4-issue thing. This is early East Side Ribbit.
Wow.
Which I think is great.
Little swastika covered.
Uh-huh. Well, she's trying to take him out. She's not.
No, I get it. No, she's not endorsing it. I'm just saying that I'm just saying it from a standpoint of swastika covers are a thing as far as the collectible worlds, like robot covers, and everything else. But there's a whole group of people who collect swastika covers.
Here's a taste of my alt-right.
Nice.
You like that? Nazis. We hate these guys. This one's really funny. It's got the funniest name. I feel like it is.
Are they Illinois Nazis? Because I know other people who hate the Illinois Nazis.
It's like Indiana Jones, but her name's it's like Athena Voltaire and the Sorcerer Pope.
Is he from Chicago too?
Yeah. The Sorcerer Pope.
Who's in that group? Oh, are you talking about the people when I said swastika covers? I think is what you're talking about, Drew. I don't know. I don't think has anything
a lot
to do
of people.
It has nothing to do with people who believe in the ideology. It's just people who collect various themes.
I like collecting Nazis getting the shit punched out of them.
Oh yeah.
Because it's kind of an American way for now. But I also found this for $0.25 for Madam. I wanted to get this one for Madam for sketch.
That's cool. Pop off here.
On that one, can it be like Batman looking in a mirror?
I think that would be.
It's gonna sound crazy, man, but the wife just called and she's having car problems with the good car now, so I'm running to go check on her. So both cars in the same week. I don't even know how that's possible, but let me go.
It's called somebody. You didn't light.
Things coming through.
You didn't make an offering at the altar this week. Obviously,
I'm gonna do that as soon as
go sacrifice a chicken on your way out the door,
or a truckery.
Yeah, that could do it.
I found this one for Chris, the comic vet. This one was for 75 cents. I'm gonna bring it to Heroes. Canadian Ninja.
Oh,
wow. The Canadian Ninja.
It is terrible.
Dude.
That costume looks very
yeah.
Right.
Look at this part right here. Is that like leg muscle or is that his junk? I don't know,
Yes, the answer is just
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I love it. So this is for.
there was a book that there was a cover that what's it, David Nakayama put out
Yeah.
or posted not long ago. I don't think the book has come out yet, but it was the I guess there's a female bullseye.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he released the cover on it and stuff. But the way that the color of the outfit was and her skin and everything, I was looking at it, I was like, oh, wow, that's a pretty bold move to go completely crotchless on your outfit and stuff. I mean, it was, and he was like, oh, well, I assume that that's costume design. I was like, oh, how do you know? I mean, it doesn't like the way it looked like it literally looked like she had like some wrap that barely covered her breast and then went down the sides of her legs, but the center and everything was like completely like.
You can't see the ninja junk. I don't know if that's like leg muscle or junk bit.
It is hard to say. It might be thigh, but at the same time, it's bulging awkward. Hamstring because he's in a squat.
I don't.
But yeah, it's hard to say. Perspective can be difficult when it's white on white.
I don't like it.
And by that I mean that there's a lack of contrast. You fucking weirdos.
I got the Sister Imperators issues 1, 2, and 3. These are from Ghost.
Oh, you got the Ghost comics?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is fun.
Hashtag poorly depicted junk.
Poorly, but it is not the best way.
I got this taken care of. The marshmallows are in.
People with sticks up in the air as he's flying by. There we go. Nice.
You need to make them like kind of slightly singed on the top. Those marshmallows.
Yeah, we could do. We'll
I'm saying when he flies by, I think the tops of those marshmallows are going to be black. That's my opinion.
I'm working on it.
It's just my opinion. There should be
or at least some brown toast.
A char.
Sure, there'll be some brown, and there'll definitely
should be some charring on those shrooms. On those marshmallows.
Anybody watch Predator Killer of Killers yet? No, I did see it listed on Disney Plus but I was too busy focused last night on getting to Doctor Who because I needed to get caught up.
Doctor Who?
Yep. I
heard that's pretty controversial.
Why?
Because Predator Killer of Killers or Doctor Who?
The Doctor Who stuff. Even my wife was like, "What?" She's watching.
I heard the spoiler for the
season.
Yeah,
I know. We talked about it.
And I haven't.
Girl?
No, it's not because the girl. It's because who it is.
Yeah, it's more of who it is as opposed to.
It's not a girl thing this time.
Yeah, because if anything, the Who fans are like, "Oh, yeah, let's do it," because she's popular amongst them. But it's the spoiler. It made me go like, "Oh shit, I gotta go watch this now to see this." So I've gone back and I was getting caught up on the season. So now I'm at the final episodes. All I have left to watch. So, yeah. Well, okay. Look, I'll say it here in a second, Drew. Anybody who I haven't seen the final episode yet, but I'll tell you the spoiler in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. If they didn't want to hear the spoiler, they can go away. It's Rose Tyler's or the actress who Rose Tyler. God, now I just forgot her name. Escaped me all of a sudden. Piper. Yeah. She the companion when they relaunched this, essentially that actress is back now as the Doctor potentially. It looks like we're guessing.
Well, that's where my wife told me that she wasn't named a doctor.
Yeah, like we were led to believe. I don't know. I haven't seen this final episode yet, but that's been the still imagery and the discussion is that that Billy Piper. Thank you, Wilbur. Yeah, that Billy Piper is potentially the Doctor. Now that could be just for a short bit thing, and like for the like when they had David Tennant come back and he was only there for a brief tidbit. Who knows? We'll see. But like I said, I haven't seen the final episode. Yeah, Bad Wolf finally going to pay out. I thought Bad Wolf paid out pretty well in the original run, but when she looked into the time vortex, and it may be maybe that it's tied to that, the fact that she was essentially had taken the time vortex into her at one point and everything else. But we'll see. I'm interested. It piqued my curiosity. It made me run to go get caught up. Like I said, I just have the final episode to watch probably either today or tomorrow. And yeah. All right. Come on back, people. Spoilers are over if you didn't want to hear it.
According
just
to
don't read the chat.
Yeah, according to my wife, she's not a fan of the latest production of it. Like she feels like it feels too clean, or it doesn't feel as budgety.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not the old. None of the new stuff's been like the old stuff. Fell off during Capaldi when they were. Yeah, I'll tell you that I feel the same way, Drew. Capaldi had nothing against him, and it really had nothing against Jodie Whittaker. But the writing during that time, I thought was hit and miss or just off altogether, and I didn't get excited about it. This current doctor, I can't pronounce the actor's name to save my life, but he's been fun at times. I think I don't think he's really had a good chance to establish who his version of the Doctor is, though. I think he's kind of he's all over the place in his personalities at times, and maybe that's fine that he is, but it's the stories have been a little bit more interesting. I think the overarching, they've done a lot of tying into past lore and not necessarily the reboot series of lore, but the old school, old Doctor's lore, digging into a lot of that and bringing those connections that have been kind of fun. So, yeah. Yeah, it's funny is every time there's a new Doctor, you always go like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't like this guy," and then eventually they grow on you. I know that was the biggest thing for me was with Matt Smith, and I thought when Matt Smith took over, I was like, "Oh, this guy sucks," and then like, it didn't take very long, and now actually the Matt Smith run's one of my favorite runs to go back and rewatch. That even though I know God forbid, even over David Tennant. I like some of the Matt Smith stuff. David Tennant stuff is great too. Don't get me wrong, especially
Matt Smith played Philip in the Netflix The Crown or whatever. He was the young Philip as well.
Nice.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, Drew. I mean, I get it. Capaldi is the Doctor. I like the idea of it. The problem, the very first episode or I think it was one of the very first episodes where they had him in like freaking Sherwood Forest and like there were aliens and he had to shoot a golden arrow at a UFO or something, and that took down and saved the whole story with shooting a golden arrow at a freaking UFO.
Is that not
just like I was just like, this is the dumb. That's just like the dumbest solution to the. After that, I was like, okay, his writing is. Although towards the end there was some stuff that was fun with it. I loved the stuff that they did as they wrapped up with him with when they brought River Song back with him, and River Song had never seen that version, didn't remember that version of the Doctor and stuff, and then they're spending their last day together and stuff. I thought that's great. I love the whole stuff with River and the Doctor. But
I have never watched Doctor Who as something that
I thought you were a nerd.
Yeah, I thought I was too.
I don't watch Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Well,
this cat puss. I got to get my hugs and stuff for a little bit.
Yeah, it was hard. I think it was like with Matt Smith, especially early on. He was so young because they had, for a long time, Doctor Who'd been older guys, and then when they brought the new series back, first Eccleston and then you went to Tennant, and then when you went to it was just like I got younger and younger there for a bit, and it was like, oh my god, who's this guy's like really young looking and stuff, not what you were thinking. But that was part of the fun that they had with it. And then of course they had such good chemistry, I think, with that whole series, of course, with River and the stuff that they did with Rory and with I have drawing blanks with character names and stuff, but anyways.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not for everyone. I get it. Totally agree.
In terms of British television, I always really followed their comedy countercultures, Britain's comedy counterculture and underground comedy, along with so then you first starting with, Monty Python, right? But then you get into Amy Pond, okay. Then you get to the things like the young ones and Ab Fab and the people from those, they are actually part of
Bits of Fry and Laurie,
yeah,
and Blackadder,
exactly. Vicar of Dibley, all kinds of just really, really funny. I love that whole underground 80s movement from the Britain.
You ever watch Red Dwarf?
I have not, and I've heard so much about it that it is the most hilarious outer space kind of.
The first 6 seasons, absolutely. Yeah, I mean after that, the problem is season 7 and beyond, they kind of break up into years go by between it'll be like a revival and everything, and it just kind of gets a little bit hit and miss at times, but. And I haven't seen the last 2 seasons, but the first 6 seasons. The first season's actually probably a little bit slower too. But once they introduce Crichton, it just goes. But yeah, Red Dwarf, Blackadder, when I find them, Blackadder is one of the reasons when I got into. I say it all the time, between Blackadder and the Thin Blue Line and some of the stuff like that. I always say Rowan Atkinson's shit as Mr. Bean is the worst crap he's ever done.
Don't say that to MJ.
No, look, we have. I think MJ and I've had this conversation. I don't say that Bean is bad. It's not my favorite stuff that he does.
Yes, more accurate.
Better.
Yes.
And look, I even got little birds flying in the background.
Yeah.
They should be falling from the ground. No, they should be like cooked Cornish hens, just falling from the ground.
Well, this is, a Fantastic Four #1.
This man's good stuff. Oh, Birchman's come. The Birchman.
Look at that pile of boxes behind him. Oh my God.
He's got product. His product is in. You need product. He's got product.
That is a man who says, "I'm unboxing this."
I'll do it eventually.
You need your kids to come down and say, "Hey, you know what? Take all these boxes, go outside and build yourself a fort."
That would require my kids coming down here with my stuff.
But okay, stand at the top of the stairs. Let me hand you these boxes. Take them outside. Go build a fort.
Okay, that I can't find anything wrong with that.
They can't touch your stuff.
And then they can break down the boxes through play, and then you can eventually. Okay, great. Now put them in the recycling bin.
I'll do it eventually.
Blackadder. He was going for Pee-wee fame.
Yeah.
I could see that. He just wasn't the same, though.
Then, of course, you get the added advantage of getting your kids to go outside and play. Because when they initially say, "No, I don't want to do that," tell them, "Do you like Roblox? Do you like Minecraft?" Well, this is just 3D real-world Minecrafting. Go have fun.
I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's got a very
good
anti-venom kind of face, more elongated. I like
anti-venom. Wow.
I know it's not him, but I'm just saying the face.
Now it's an Eddie Brock Carnage, but if you notice, I covered the word Eddie Brock because there's only one Carnage to me.
Right.
So.
Justin Birch, however, says that there's 4.
Hey, there's as many Carnages as you want there to be.
As many Carnages as Marvel wants to make money off of.
Just like Venom.
Just like Venom, yeah.
Uncle Venom. They'll.
Where's Uncle Ben Venom? Yeah. Mary
I'm
Jane
gonna
is
take
the
this
only
to
true
CGC.
Carnage. Yeah, Mary Jane is Carnage in the Spider-Gwen universe.
Oh gosh, I stopped. I couldn't anymore. I refused to buy that book.
It was just a small series, but
The last issue came out last week. I said I'm done.
oh, that's Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. All right, so I got 3 books. I'll do a sketch for one of them. Now, would you take a Deadpool Wolverine? An all-in special. Yeah, okay, Deadpool Wolverine is one I have. I have one blank here.
Mm.
I also have an all-in special with the DC logo.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a Summer of Superman special as well. So these are the 3 blanks I have.
Why so DC?
So it sounds like Summer of Superman sounds like a swimsuit issue cover to me. And then
a swimsuit issue? Wow.
Well, it only makes sense. It's summertime. He should be like ankle deep or knee deep in water with a little inflatable beach ball and his super speedo.
No, what it needs to be is Crypto pulling down his trunks.
Oh,
haven't we seen that like hundreds of times?
But not him. It's always like Supergirl or one of the females.
No, I think they've done it for Superman.
Kryptonite man thong to protect all the ladies. Oh, there you go. What was it? Oh,
Deadpool Wolverine, all in special.
So I think
Superman.
Deadpool Wolverine, but do it with Deathstroke and Lobo on the cover.
No,
that's actually not bad though.
You could have Deadpool on your.
That's not bad. Deathstroke and Lobo.
You could do Deadpool with Jeff the Shark, Land Shark, pulling down his pants, and it just be like a.
That one actually was a real cover.
Ash. It was.
It was a cover.
I think they've done Crypto pulling Superman's trunks.
I know for a fact that Jeff the Land Shark pulling down Deadpool's was a cover. It was on one of the Deadpool #1s.
Oh,
yeah, that sounds like a Deadpool thing.
Yeah.
So would you? So you're labeling Lobo in comparison to Wolverine
from an appearance, right? With the cigar and the. And
well,
the
they do get. Yeah. You know, there's comparisons between the two, and healing factor and that stuff. Lobo pulling Deathstroke's pants. I don't think that's good
with his teeth.
I'm just thinking if there's what's the DC equivalent of Wolverine?
Well, that's why I went with Lobo. That was the closest I could think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure they have some.
I think you should do the Max, a swimsuit cover edition of the Max.
So here's what's coming up. They did say Lobo, but they're also saying Hawk from Hawk and Dove. Timberwolf does a lot of. There's some comparisons with Timberwolf. I know that one. I guess you could say it's Lobo, but it's very different.
It was just
It's just a thought. I'm just thinking about it because they always do that.
Wildcat looks the closest.
Wildcat's a great character.
Yeah, I was instantly thinking of the the hairy cigars chomping, motorcycle riding, whatever else. Even though one's towers over the other, but
similar disposition.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
came to my mind the first.
See, Mike says the same thing. Would be something that's way out of my comfort zone.
Oh, what's way out of his comfort zone? Well, that was the Superman ankle deep or knee deep in the water playing with a beach volleyball with his
Harley biting off Lobo's trunks. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, that'll get me canceled. Now, Harley pulling off Lobo's trunks. Well, that's that's fair.
That's what I think is. I think that's what he meant.
Yeah, I already have a Batman Adventures, but it's a blue cover, so that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be a little challenging.
The generic DC one is one that you should say for like a DC character that you've always wanted to do, but doesn't typically have their own book or doesn't have a lot of blanks and stuff available.
The interesting one about this one, I have like multiple copies of this one.
When are you gonna do an amalgam characters? We should do some amalgam.
Oh, there you go.
I've done a Dark Claw.
Do you a Lobo the Duck?
That's true.
Lobo the Duck would be fun.
You teamed up with Roscoe on a Dark Claw.
But you see, I'm gonna wait on that one because I could sense them doing that very soon because of the announcement that they just came up with.
But see, you could do like Lobo the Duck grilling some burgers, flipping some burgers, during the summer.
Oh, it could be Lobo the Duck holding the marshmallows.
And the skewers, something. Something fun. I just feel like I need to see a Lobo the Duck from you.
A Lobo the Duck?
Yeah.
I've done Scrooge McDuck, and someone right there owns the copy.
I have heard that someone on this panel has a preference for Scrooge.
I've come to realize that I have a thing for stories that involve anamorphic characters.
Okay.
Oh. You are falling deep into the Stan Sakai realm.
So is that saying that you could or could not possibly become a furry in the future?
Oh, a furry Justin.
Yes,
wow,
Rob.
Look at that.
That's
I
a
have.
box.
He's on the way.
Did you we had the I think it was last year or a year before we did. I know Comics Drink Cancer one year we had the first appearance of Tawny the Tiger in a Captain Marvel book one year. It was what was this Ink Dragon Ink Comics was really into the those anamorphic characters.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video they did. They emailed whoever was in charge of Albedo and somehow got a file copy of Albedo number 2. Yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah. Let's see what we do. Justin, have you heard of Red Wall?
I have not.
There you go. A furry Justin is just a Justin with a smaller beard.
Or a longer beard.
That would be Lumberjack Justin.
There you go.
When you embrace the full lumbersexual.
Where I think I need to get a flannel for that first.
Flannel and a pair of work boots.
Yeah.
And an ironic knit cap.
Ironic or unironic?
An ironic.
Okay.
So that can make you one of two things. It can make you either a lumberjack or a standard lesbian in.
Well, the interesting thing is that the difference between
Oregon,
the Pacific Northwest lesbian and the lumbersexual is a beard.
That's the only difference you can. That's the only way you can tell them apart.
And it's really more the length of the beard than.
It's true.
I'm learning so much about myself today. It's amazing.
Some people learned that there was a term called lumbersexual.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
God, did you guys ever have a sex ed class in high school?
Oh, just get a Bass Pro Shop hat. It goes both ways.
Sorry, we don't have Bass Pro Shops where I live. We have Cabela's.
Oh, well, there you are.
We have Bass Pro.
We have that.
Even I have a Bass Pro Shop.
We got a Dick's Sporting Goods
here in the Bay Area.
Mm. Does yours have like a big aquarium thing?
No.
I've never actually been in the one that's in San Jose. I don't even know that if it has a lake in its parking lot for you to test out the boats.
I
know I've been to other ones and I've seen that stuff that you speak of, but I've actually never the one that's in San Jose. I get off off the freeway at the off ramp, but I always go the other direction to go to my dentist. Or to tattoo shop. I've never gone to the right that direction.
Got you.
But now that you say that, maybe one day I'll venture out of my house for something other than comics or work or a medical appointment, and I'll try it.
Hey, what's the car's deal? What's going on, Mark? Is everybody sick? He's like, I don't know. I'm just gonna fix it on here. I'm gonna fix the tire here. I'm gonna slam the lug nuts into the air, and watch Finn say fudge, and just recreate the Christmas story scene.
Oh, fudge!
Except it wasn't fudge. It was the word. What did you say? God.
So what's the word there, buddy? Or are you just checking in? Nope. Okay, he's just checking.
Yeah, I just bailed. I just pulled up here and gave the wife the working car, and I think it's just the battery. She said when she turns the key, it just makes a soft clicking sound. I'm like, oh, thank God. So because we just got in the car and left, my Jeep, the one that broke down earlier in the week, the cords are in there, and she's on such a tight schedule to get back home and get ready to come right back up here that I'm like, man, that's shitty. So Pops heard on the stream what I said when I left. So he called when I was up here. He's like, hey, I'm about 10 minutes behind you with jumper cables. I'm on the way. I'll meet you there.
Nice.
So didn't even have to coordinate it. All I had to do was show up and bail.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those issues. I had one of those issues recently in my car, but then I realized that, oh shit, the battery in my car was 6 or 7 years or 6 years old, and I was like, okay, yeah, it needs to be replaced.
Yeah, so and it's one of those things, and Caroline will get this. It's one of those God things, because like we're looking at vehicles to go buy today, and we're looking at two different ways of going about doing it. Getting something just that we can almost just pay for today and leave, or something that we'd put ourselves on some payment plans and get bigger and nicer. And this is kind of one of those like, hey, keep in mind shit happens,
Right.
Hey, buy used, because as soon as you get something new, it depreciates once you take it off the lot.
Yeah, we're getting used. It was just we were looking at like two different price margins, like under 10 or under, like right under 10 or right under 20. Like it's two different options. So I think that this is one of those things, like, the vehicle that went down is just my get to work and back vehicle. Just replace that and keep it moving.
Taylor's asked if you've considered buying a Tesla for $4.
I'm waiting to see who Elon is the champion of. If it's the people on the right or left, he keeps flip-flopping too much. So I'm waiting to see, because if I buy one even for $4, I'm concerned that somebody on the far left or far right will end up firebombing it. We have to let the dust settle.
I don't know that he's going to be the champion of either side. I think he's just.
I'm not sure if he's
even
material.
the nerdum is abandoning him. He's like.
I think that's the only people that are still with him are the people that go and watch the rockets fly, and they don't really care who's they don't really care who's in charge. They just like watching the rockets fly.
He's gonna go Dr. Manhattan and live on Mars alone.
He's gonna occupy Mars.
One guy that can do that though.
Well, maybe this time, since he already launched a Roadster into space, so maybe this time he'll launch a Cybertruck into space, and then it'll be enclosed and he can land and start driving around.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like a Tesla Cybertruck looks like it's about the right type of terrain vehicle for Mars.
Oh God, that is like the ugliest. The ugliest.
I don't disagree with you, but
did y'all? I can't remember who's making it, but I think it's called Slate, SLATE. It's like an electric truck under, like it starts at like 20,000 new.
Yeah, they're really
but
cheap.
It's one of those highly customizable vehicles, much like a Jeep is, where you can get it with a truck bed, with a cover, with a all the different attachments and color things you could think of. It looked pretty fun. I mean, if you're just trying to get like a little drive around vehicle, not so much as a work truck. Oh yeah. The slate trucks look cool. They do.
Like I said,
and I like that they're pushing it. They're pushing affordability first while they're building it. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of issues, but as time goes, like they'll get better at making them.
Well, that's why any of those things, like I said, when we got our electric car, I was like all on board on leasing for the first time ever, just because the technology changes so fast. I was like, okay, great. Let somebody else deal with that stuff. And plus, they were giving away like I said, when they were giving away the lease at $150 a month, I was like, oh, you guys are it. Yeah, I'll take a car for $150 a month.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I wish I could take a car for $150 a month.
Well, I did, and
good for you.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to see Mars get terraformed.
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be to be perfectly honest, I'd be surprised if we ever set foot on it in our lifetime.
Oh, well, now I'm just sad.
I'm a realist, Justin.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for my
pessimistic, man.
I'm still waiting for my moon base, baby.
I'm a skeptic.
I want to be a dreamer.
I don't have a moon base yet. Until I have a
You know
moon
what?
base.
If you want a moon base, you have to go to the dark side.
No, that's where everybody knows that the dark side is where all the evil's at. I don't want to go to the dark side. I want to stay in the light. Unless it's Star Wars, and then let's go dark, baby.
Yeah, don't put our day job.
Because they have more fun. Yeah, the guy that puts bubble helmet covers is a realist. Who knew?
You see the Austin cover he did with the bubble helmet android robot thing?
Yeah,
the Planet Comics.
Didn't you see me comment on that?
No,
you didn't read all the comments on every single post. Why not?
Whenever I see your handle, I kind of just back out of whatever it is immediately.
Yeah. No, I told him to stop drawing things I want.
DJ just sent me the graphic for the announcement later. It looks good.
I'll take that opportunity to remind everybody that, hey, if you didn't hear earlier, make sure you're following Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram, because later today, Mr. DJ Links, under the guise of Comics Curing Cancer, will be dropping our next piece of information that you're going to want to know about happening at Heroes Con and the Comics Curing Cancer booth. Booth 1766, to answer your question, Justin, because I know you were just about to ask, yes. And while you're at it, thinking about attending, don't forget that link pinned at the top of the chat is the link to the Comics Curing Cancer store merch. You still have time to get a Comics Curing Cancer shirt to wear at the con in time for the con. So go ahead and pick one up. Don't forget, Mark would like, especially we're pushing Saturday, we're going to flood the floor with Comics Curing Cancer shirts. You can buy more and wear one every day, but especially wear one Saturday. There you go. This commercial is now ended.
If you got Comics Curing Cancer merch already or plan on getting some, which you can get it now and have it in time, schedule yourself for Saturday to wear it. That way, the whole cause can be a walking promotion.
That's almost like what I said.
That's how you do it. We work as one.
Or in parallel at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's
on the same stream. Oh, Justin.
Yes, sir.
What in pop culture has gone on with you this week?
Justin wants to have a roundtable discussion today.
Oh, that would be nice.
I thought he said he wanted to have a trapezoidal table discussion.
No, roundtable. His words, not mine.
About what, though?
He'll tell you.
Oh, I just found Mark's video of what was it, creator versus reseller or collector versus reseller?
No, it was creator versus reseller.
I found it very fascinating. I think it's a very interesting topic.
You're promoting Mark's stuff? Never mind.
No, he's promoting a topic.
I'm just kidding.
What you doing, cat? What you doing, pussy? Pussy cat.
What? Already got the art book of life.
It had no words. So yeah, did y'all might not have seen it because
Different
it
than
was
our
taken
art
down.
book because our art book hasn't shipped yet.
Nerdy Girl posted on Instagram and sharing Mike DiCarlo's Heroes Con rates. Heroes Con has the majority of the artists, their signatures, remarks, sketches, all their prices listed. And she posted a picture of Mike DiCarlo's, asking people if this seems right, if this seems fair, what do you think about it? This isn't cool. And it was because he has listed on his rates that if you are a reseller and air quotes here, eBayer, he used that language, that it costs significantly more for you to get stuff signed. And she since deleted the post, like before I could even make a video, but there was some good conversation happening. I guess the feedback in her post went a direction she didn't expect. So she's like, I'll just bail on this.
Did she expect everyone to take her side? Is that what she expected?
I honestly think so, to be honest with you. It's one of those things when, like, you know, like if you're like one of these full-time whatnot sellers, these bigger streams, like you're definitely in the community, but you have such a different you have such a different perspective. You know what I mean? People like what they can get from you. They don't necessarily like to see the other side of the curtain. You know, you want to eat the hamburger, you don't want to see how it's made sometimes. You know, it's one of those situations, and it's like a butcher coming out and telling people, dude, this cow won't let me shoot it in the head. Can you believe that? And everyone would say, don't shoot that cow, but they'd happily eat the burger.
Yeah, I feel that.
Burgers are great.
I think I would have a problem if it's like just simply like if somebody like if I'm a creator and I like, for example, let's take Danielle. She comes up and I know that she's a seller and she comes up and has one book for me to sign. I think that's bullshit to charge her more for just one book or something. But if she's coming up with a stack of books, then I think that anybody who, for that matter, who comes up with, I don't have a problem with a creator saying, look, you got more than 2 or 3 books and you're coming up and you want me to sign a huge stack, then, you know, either I'm going to charge a premium because you're taking up a lot more time and limiting who the fans I can talk to, or we're going to negotiate some sort of rate and a time where we can do this or something, you know.
There was a lot of points that I brought up in the video, but I was speaking with her in the comment section as well, which is a shame why it got deleted, because there's some good points in there, not just me, but from other people as well. But there's things that you have to look at, and it's not just Mike, it's not just this con. All artists, all writers already charge you more if they're signing a book that you're getting CGC. It doesn't cost them any more money, but they know that you're about to increase the value of this book significantly, so they're charging you more if you're going to get it witnessed. That has nothing to do with the artist whatsoever, you getting it witnessed. That's a third party who you go and get, who you bring to just stare at you while you get it signed. It has nothing to do with the artist, but they charge you more if you come up there with a witness.
I've always definitely had a problem with that, especially, and I think with you know, obviously now with JSA stuff, that's obviously a different. Now people don't need to do that shit, but I don't think, I would argue, you know, I don't know what the mentality was on that, because I would argue that it doesn't necessarily, getting a signature on a book, unless that person is Stan Lee or something, very seldom does a signature really add any value.
It adds some. It definitely adds that yellow label.
Yeah,
definitely
you're right.
commands
You're right.
some.
The yellow label versus not having, maybe,
yeah.
but versus a green label, sure. But I mean, but for the most part, there's a lot of people, once you get a book signed, there's a smaller slice of people who are interested in buying pre-signed books by people that they never met, that they just bought this book signed, unless it's like I said, a big actor or a legend that's not available anymore and stuff. But you know, me saying, hey, this book's signed by Tinian. Okay, so are a billion others, and I can get it readily at any con on my own. I don't think that it adds any necessary intrinsic.
Well,
value.
let me ask your thoughts on this aspect of it. So another one of the points she brought up, was like, basically she's providing a service for people. The concept is like, I get this stuff signed so that people who aren't at the show have access to So she's getting stuff signed, and now people who aren't there are able to go on her show and buy the books with these signatures. And to that, I say, what the hell? Who gives a shit? Like, my mindset is, like, I go to one big show a year. There's countless artists and writers that I will never meet in person because they don't hit the show I go to. I don't have access to them, but I don't feel like I'm privileged to access to them at the cost of somebody else who takes the time, who spends the money, who does the planning, and they go to that show and get it. You know, like that's not. I don't feel like that was a very genuine response. I'm keep granting people access. What you're doing is you're granting yourself money. Is what you're doing.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's using the term service. I don't think it's the right word. I think she should have said the word opportunity, because she's not taking somebody's book and then getting it signed and then sending it back to them. She's taking books that she has acquired, getting the artist to sign them, and then selling those.
And then jacking up the price while you're at it, right?
Yeah. And
so but the argument I have, and I'm with Rob on this one, is what's the difference if
real quick,
say a regular everyday person.
Hold on, real quick. Yeah. I'm gonna hop off. I'll pop this here. I'll see y'all later.
See ya.
All right, Mark. So what's the difference of getting a book signed and getting it witnessed when the person that's getting it witnessed, and again, this is just the everyday person. We're not talking about the reseller, right? So the everyday person wants to get a book signed and then get it witnessed so they could get it slabbed and they could preserve that signature for themselves, right? What irritates me about it is that I still have to, as that person, I will have to pay you extra to get that signature. Plus, I have to pay CGC for that witness as well. So it's not even that you want your cut of me doing it. I'm pretty much paying double the price just for one signature, and in some cases, maybe even triple the price because of that. And I think that's I don't like that idea. I understand they do it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. I personally don't care. At the end of the day, if I'm the artist, you're gonna get my signature because you want my signature. Now, I agree. If I give you 10 copies of the exact same book, then I'm starting to question what's going on here. But if I have one book and one signature, I don't know why it's that a big deal. Go ahead, lady.
Chair recognizes the distinguished woman, Lady Fantastic.
Oh, thank you, panel. Well, Madam fucking just bounced.
No, she said, "I don't want to hear what you."
This conversation.
Said, no, I think she said she didn't want to hear what Lady F was about.
She said, "This bitch out." So
the number of boxes offended her in my background.
Here's the way I see it. This is there is a level of cynicism to this business, and there's the cynicism of the people who are going to get a fuck ton of signatures just so they can flip for whatnot, okay? Because that's just profit, right? And then there's a level of cynicism I see in the artists then discussing that they are then going to raise the prices accordingly to those who are going to get theirs, for profit or whatever. Well, I kind of see that as, I understand that you see people making money off of this, but that's kind of like you going out of the order to try and get your chunk downstream when really you're occurring upstream. And I don't know, that's a little sketchy. And for me, I kind of do feel like if you're going to be one of those whatnot people and you want to get a stack of 50 or a stack of 30 or whatever signs, yeah, you're going to have to be charged a premium for that, or you're going to have to pay a little more because, one, it takes time for actual fans, and two, you're not doing it because you give a fuck. You're doing it to make a buck. So you're going to have to give a buck. It's just the way it goes. Yeah. I don't know. It's all kind of cynical for me.
When it spills over to the rest of us, it kind of sucks. Madam, hello. How are you?
I'm fine. I am in a hotel.
We figured that out. Because I have the same usual overview.
Overview. I saw the Brit Floyd at the Red Rocks in Colorado.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
And I made it about halfway through. And until I was like, I gotta go.
Because you're so sleepy.
No, it was cool. There's like so many people there.
You're just overwhelmed.
And we saw it. Yeah, it wasn't as overwhelming because it's more of an amphitheater style, so you don't feel like you're gonna get trampled. But it was amazing. It was like the sound, the lights, the rocks were so. It was
nice.
Yes.
I just heard it. I think it was that location. They're talking. I read something about it being named one of the best venues to see a show, one of the most beautiful venues to see a show, and
100%. Well, it reminds me of Sedona a lot. If you've ever been to Sedona with the red rocks, the rock structure is very much the same around here with this natural amphitheater thing they have.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar. I'm mostly from my travels to southern Utah. There, obviously.
Yeah, but see, I'm excited as a comic fan. I do want the signature.
Forget this concert. Let's get back to talking.
I want the signature. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's cool. We had our moment to acknowledge Madam. Now we can go back to you.
Sorry. I love you. When are you coming back home, bitch?
Today.
Good.
Yeah.
What time are you getting home?
I'll be home. I'll be home in the afternoon.
Okay.
What are you planning on eating for dinner?
Gee, Justin, I don't know. It's kind of personal.
Oh, I took it too far. Sorry.
No, I need to know because we have meetings. We discuss business and we're business ladies. We invented Post-its. Piss off, Joseph. Justin.
Romy, don't tell him you invented Post-its.
Letter boy. I'm just kidding. I'm not being
Romy? Who's Romy? Who's Michelle? Okay, I think I know who. I don't think I need to question who's who.
I'm the Mary. No, I'm the Mary.
So I've definitely had an issue with the idea of the, especially when it's just a fan doing stuff. The signing. I mean, I ranted on it for a long time because of a particular creator where I had bought a book from the creator, and then just a single book, bought it from them at the booth. And when I asked them to sign it because I had a witness, I had to pay for that signature, even though I was paying $80-something or whatever for the book, plus had bought some other art from them. Bought one of their prints and stuff and was spending a significant amount of money with them. Then they go, oh yeah, and then I got to pay for the witness fee on top of the signature. It's like, I'm getting one book here from you. I'm obviously not, and I bought it from you. It's not like I brought some weird special book or any number of other things. You've made money from me.
That's why CGC is a racket to me.
Well, that's not the CGC.
I know, but it's like you got to get it witnessed just to get it graded, and it's like
except that now you don't. And that's the thing, right? Now you don't. And for a long time, I had stopped doing. Getting witnesses on books like that because I would send them in the past just for verification at CBCS, but now you can do it at CGC too. You get the verification. Since for me, I don't care. I mean, I can understand that down the line. I can understand that down the line, somebody may not value a verified as much as a witness because they don't trust it or something. But that's future Rob's problem. And as Justin has said many times, future person's problem is it's their problem.
I try to be good to future Caroline because she gets pissed when current Caroline does not look out for future Caroline. I'm just going to tell you. There's been many times.
I love that so much.
I have fucked over future Caroline a lot. And so now, and she does not like it. So I'm trying to do her good because she's like a mafia person.
I don't think I'm doing future Rob bad. I'm just not doing him as well as maybe I could.
Okay.
Future Justin, screw that guy. I hate him.
Yeah. Future Madam. I don't even see that. So
I've had some contentious relationships with future Caroline because of that.
That's fair. You know, the one who I really hate is past Rob. He's the guy who's always screwing shit up.
You know what? I don't even pay attention to past Caroline because she's like fucking that bitch who knew that you couldn't control. She couldn't be told what to do. You just have to forgive her and let it go.
Past Rob has at times he's like, "What were you thinking? Did you not even think about me?"
Yes. Future Caroline or past Caroline was a mess.
Justin, how is the work on your Smoke Bomb t-shirt coming?
Non-existent.
It's future Justin's problem.
Yeah,
it's future Justin.
Well, future Justin could be rich with that. I think you make a
Future Justin's got a lot on his plate. That's all I'm saying. Is that
Smoke Bomb.
Put a little too much on Future Caroline's plate.
Future Justin does have a lot of
Ref Marcus is long before but it's the notion of paying more for because a CGC witness is there versus not because there's a lot of artists that either don't charge or they charge $5 or something for a signature and then just something nominal. And then all of a sudden you go there and you go, oh, but you got a witness. Okay, now it's $30.
Yeah, it's
not like it's like a little bit. It can be 3 to 4 times more just because you have a witness standing there with you. But
I get a witness.
I don't know. It is
the best way to handle that, in my opinion, in my experience. Anytime I've had someone come up to me and ask how much I charge for a witness signature, I just point to the jar and say, I just asked for a donation to the charity. And they never argue it. Because if they do, then they're an asshole.
Right. Well, but as far as like earlier in the discussion, there was some people were talking about also the creator rates have all gone up. And I did notice this year as I'm looking and like I said, I have 9 commissions that I'm picking up. There's definitely a variety in pricing. And the prices, I do notice that like for a full, even on a sketch cover, for a full character, the prices can have gone up and are definitely, in some cases, significantly gone up. But at the end of the day, I don't think that for the most part, I don't think any of them have really gotten to a point, aside from either people who just don't want to do them, or like Jim Lee. Let's just forget his stuff off the table. But most of your average creator, I don't think that asking somebody to give you a custom full character piece from a professional artist, I don't see that with color and everything else, $200 to $300 range as being unreasonable, really. It's definitely
on the artist, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some artists are less. I have right now. I'll tell you the range for the professional artists. For the most part, they're working on books. Range seems to be for the most part for a torso or full character, start at about 150 on up. Most of them ranging in that $150 to $300 range. There is some that are out there. I had one that I did reach out to on something I wanted to do, and he hit me back with a $1,200 price tag, and I said, "Wow." To be honest, I think I'm going to go in a different direction because that's like 3 or 4 commissions versus one type of thing. But even still, there are some that the rates have gone up. I've had to, go, and that's fine. The cost of everything's gone up, and these guys, their time, and they're not getting paid. Some of them aren't getting paid tremendously from working on comic books. Comic book scale and stuff is crap, and they're so. I don't begrudge them trying to make a living, and they're going to offer their services commensurate with demand and their ability to do it. If they have not a lot of demand, their prices will be less until they got enough demand that they have to raise their prices to adjust. And that's how most of those artists will do stuff, is they're going to set their pricing based on how much can I take on, and what kind of time do I have to do that, mixed in with all the other work that I have on a regular basis. So the cheapest though is Justin, man. I asked Justin for his rates on a torso, and he told me nothing.
Basically
because he's not going to draw a torso.
Some pocket twine, and
he's going to draw the word torso.
I'm going to write the word torso.
Exactly, which is phenomenal because he doesn't normally write. Madam, yes.
I'm going to go. I have to go pack, but I just want to stop in and say hi, guys.
Well, we appreciate you stopping in and say hello.
Thanks.
Bye, meow.
Bye.
See ya.
Yes. Also, if you could message us all when you get home, that would be great.
Shut up, Birch.
What do we got? All right.
That's what girls do. Girls are like, call me when you get home, girl. It's true.
Do they?
Yes, you know you're married to one.
Well, my wife's a tomboy.
I am too, but I'm still like, hey, bitch, did you get a home?
My wife doesn't. We have a different relationship.
Oh, not to you, to her friends.
Oh, I don't
Your
know.
friend.
I don't creep on her DMs or nothing. I don't know what she's saying to anybody.
Yeah. So like usually for chicks when we go out or whatever, it's just more of like, just text me when you get back. What I mean, like kind of a pseudo mom thing, but it's just like just gonna make sure my homegirl's good, you know, and get her
Okay.
right.
You say so. I have no idea. I've never paid attention to that.
Well, it's because your guy friends don't care about your safety. I'm just kidding.
This is mostly true.
Now, wait a minute.
See,
This is like when my wife says, "Did you talk to your brothers about this important thing that happened in your life or theirs?" And you're just like, "No."
Right. If it was important, they would have reached out to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I'm
love
not
y'all,
gonna ask,
but I mean,
I'm
y'all
not
are
gonna
just
answer a question that I'm not asked.
God did not make you guys to be social creatures. You just weren't
No, well,
created to socialize.
no, I mean, yeah, it's
not in the same way we did.
I don't think I think it's just a matter of there are obviously
social differences.
This is obviously pure stereotypical, right? But I think it's just
definitely
the development over time of how the hunter-gatherer type society of this traditional roles bred a certain proclivity to certain activities, right? That men were off doing things individually or in small groups, but were being silent and quiet, whether you're hunting, stalking, whatever else, and women were back communicating all kinds of things that were going on, and the homestead and the families, and
ensuring social cohesion amongst
and teaching and raising the kids and communicate. So all those types of habits. Those things build a proclivity over time. I think that
there are physiological differences in the brain that can be shown. Is that this division between your two hemispheres? It's called the corpus callosum. Shut up, Drew. I'm going to back it by science. Calm down. Calm your balls. I'm going to back it by science.
I'll come back to this in a moment, Eric. KBDM.
There's a corpus callosum, and the neural connectivity between your corpus callosum differs. So it's more dense in females, and there's more neural connectivity between the hemispheres than in males. It tends to be less dense. However, that provides for different things. One, for females, that means they can do some things that men can't do, like multitask, and they're more social, which engenders social cohesion and more of the tribal unity. And also, you got to teach kids and language and all that shit. With men, because it's not as much, they are actually very, very good at compartmentalizing, hence focusing. And when you get into that hunting down prey or going down and trying to get resources, it's very good for hyperfixation and doing all that.
Yeah, I watched a really interesting experiment. We talk about it. So it wasn't that men couldn't multitask, but the way that they multitask is very different.
Yes,
it's not. It was an interesting,
very different way to task.
It was an interesting experiment where they had a baby in a taped off area, and it was like you had a list of things that you needed to do, but you had to keep the baby out of trouble or something, or whatever it was doing. And the men were very. Here's my list of things. It's one thing at a time. Pause this to go do this. Focus on this. Come back to this. It was one task time, whereas the women would
juggle,
take on, actually physically do multiple things simultaneously. very, very different. Absolutely.
And it's not that one's better than the others. It really literally has to do with like the structural differences within the brain in terms of where the neuronal density
one of the
is.
things that is well recognized in my home is spatial acuity, the ability to recognize that, like, I look at things all the time, and like everyone comes to my wife or something comes all the time. She saw what size container I need for this. So I can look at something and instantly know which size container when you change the shape. What volume of space is that going to fill, reshaping things, or like she's, we all like, I'll load the dishwasher or something else, like, because I look at it before I load. It's like I look at everything, I survey it in my mind, it all assembles where it all needs to go. Just weird stuff like that. But
and there are always outliers and things, because it's like I happen to be good with spatial recognition. I mean, I'm definitely a lady, but like there's just different.
You are? It's in your name even. How'd you get that?
According to the data, it's a yes.
Got it.
So
Must be a lady.
Given the phenotype, I think I am. But
there's other things that may lead you to it, but
yeah, I may curse like a sailor, but
that's right. Well, females can be on ships now.
Yeah, it's fun. I like learning about like differences, even as slight as they can be. There still are differences, and a lot of them are shaped by the differentiation of hormone levels. And
these are generalities that apply in many circumstances, but not all.
Very generalities. There are always exceptions.
Everything else. KBDM asked the question, hey, Rob, how's the availability of the new C3 shirts, and are they a limited time or anything? To answer that question is the availability is they're available. Links pinned up at the top. Now, as far as limited time goes, there are 2 designs that are labeled specifically when you're looking at them as the 2025. So there's one design which has the cover art for this year's art book, the Hulk Smash Cancer shirt design, and then there's another one which is the Chad Chotel design, which I have here on this mug, which is the cancer patient. Who's reading last year's art book and thinking of teaming up with Captain America. I can make it show up even better. We'll put some light on it. There we go. The little mini ring light. These are 2025 only. So at the end of the calendar year, those designs will no longer be available. Our generic designs will continue to be. So no rush right this second, unless you're trying to get it to wear at HeroesCon, in which case you still have time, because the shirts are going into production within 24 hours, and they tend to be shipping out within 2 to 3 business days. And as long as you don't go down to like economy shipping, you should have no problem with the standard shipping getting it anywhere in the US in time for HeroesCon. Thanks for asking, KBDM.
And like, as somebody who actually I do work in like drug discovery, where we work like it's anti-cancer. In the last 20 years, cancer treatment has gotten so much
discovery.
better. Huh? Cancer treatment has gotten so much better and more like patient specific and tissue specific. Like chemotherapy is so bad. It's so bad. Like, because it just kills everything. So like it's better when it's more like tissue specific, or like if you use like immunotherapeutic strategies, because then it only targets the cancer cells, and that way you've got much better prognoses, and it's so elegant. The science getting so much more elegant these days, and they're like, we're using these things called PROTACs, where we create these small molecules that actually like bind the target of interest, these protein targets that are considered undruggable, like MYC. Look up that, for instance. It is responsible for so many different cancers. And when it is incorrectly expressed, or there is a dysregulation in the MYC pathway, that's where you get these oncogenic properties and you start seeing cancers. And like, with these protacks, we've got these medicinal chemists that design small molecules that can attach to these smooth proteins with a very high affinity. On the other end of those molecules, we created molecular glue, and on the other ends, we attach an E3 ligase, which is natural to the cell, and it basically just recruits the cell's natural proteasome, which is the machinery and cellular equipment used to cause targeted degradation of the protein. So you use these molecules, they attach to your cancer target with a high affinity, a high specificity, and then you use your own cell's internal machinery to degrade that target. How fucking sexy is that?
I'm
fully aroused. Every word you said was big.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And good luck. I have comic issues because it's so much healthier.
There you go. I'm working on it.
Nice. He's actually busted out the Deathstroke and oops, wrong button. I can do this. There we are. Deathstroke and Lobo. Nice.
But here's what's really nice is since this is one of those blanks that the cover's in the blank. You see the Deathstroke, the Deadpool,
and then you're gonna flip over, and it's the mirror. Nice.
Not one for one, but close enough.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Very cool.
I'm glad that I could be funny, and you'd run with it. Thank you for sharing, Drew.
That's the kind of stuff that Lady F's significant others like. Keep saying it. Whew.
I could, but I know it's grossly out of context. With only being linked to cancer. I wanted to say that's all I know about cancer. I don't know other stuff about cancer.
I know that cancer's bad. I'm gay.
It's a dick. Cancer's a dick.
Or as Justin always tells me, it's like the ultimate supervillain.
It really is.
Actually, I was going to say that I'm not a Cancer. I'm a Virgo.
You too? I didn't know that.
Virgos. Oh my God. That's why. I'm a Capricorn. Capricorns and Virgos. We get along.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before Lady F continues, I'd like to remind you that just a second ago we were spouting hard science. Now.
Yeah, this is for fun. This is for fun. Now we're back to talking
There's
about.
There's so many different levels to you. I love it.
Girl, I'm a Capricorn, and so is Cliff, and so is Sheena, and me, Cliff, and Sheena. Wait, me and Sheena share the same exact birthday, and then
Cliff, Sheena, and I.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
and all them. We have a very close. Cliff is January 1st, and then me and Sheena are J3. It's
astrology isn't hard science.
It's not hard, but. It's interesting. It's fun.
Yeah. My wife, Capricorn, is late December, early January, or something.
Yeah.
I think
I'm early January. I'm a bitch.
I think my wife is Capricorn,
and she's awesome.
I don't know. I have to look when the dates are. I know that I'm not. I know I'm Aquarius, but. What sign is? Oh no, she's Sagittarius. Never mind.
Oh, Saggies. Saggies are fun.
I think she's
wild. They're a little wild. They can get a little wild there.
I feel like you could have take out the word Saggy and put in any dog breed, and that sentence makes just as much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and my
Saggies too. I've had them for years.
Yeah, well, I agree. I think they're fun, especially since she lets me touch her. I know.
I don't know alchemy. I can't be turning shit into gold randomly. I'm not good at that. As much as I would love to. No, the astrology thing. It's just it's more fun. Just kind of like, do I believe in it?
Oh, that's right. They did change it. You do have to look. I forgot they did change. Didn't they add like an extra sign now or something?
Nuh-uh. They did not. They didn't change it.
There was something that was there was. I remember not.
What they changed it, added a sign.
They didn't change it. They may have done something like what's your Chinese? There's also like Chinese astrology.
Am I a snake or a rat? Maybe I'm a pig. Hold on.
No, I was born the year of the dragon.
They did? Bleeker?
That's how that works.
Okay, hold on. So the answer is the 12 zodiac signs haven't actually changed, but the dates associated with each have shifted due to Earth's axial precision. This means that constellations and the sun appear and pass over different. Okay, so because the world and the Earth moves and the universe, the galaxies
is expanding at an accelerating rate.
Therefore, the dates associated with individuals being under certain signs change over time. Got it. There we've now taken hard science to mix with astrology.
Okay,
well,
so what you're saying
take the hard science and be real about it.
So what you're saying, if I'm a Virgo today because I was born the last day of being a Virgo, tomorrow I could be a Scorpio,
your mother,
or something like that.
Yeah,
if you're lucky.
Maybe, I don't know. So you just look at the dates and see.
Good morning to the one, the only Austin LeMay.
So apparently, Wellbore, Capricorns and Cancers are supposed to get along really well because we're the equal and opposite.
Drew says, no, you're always a Virgo because you were born under that sign. It's future people born on that date who would not necessarily be.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah. A lot of my friends have been Virgos in the past, but sometimes I butt heads with them.
And sometimes they're just butt heads?
Sometimes I'm just a butt head.
I love Justin loves the simple jokes. That's what's great about Justin.
But
I love this guy.
He doesn't ask for much.
But not dad jokes. I gotta draw the line somewhere.
Really? I'm so sorry to hear
that. You like
that.
fart jokes?
He's a male. Of course he'd like only when he says them.
I like it when guys are really funny, honestly, when they just randomly fart and they have that stupid smile on their face. Because it's just like, you guys like making a noise and thinking it's funny. It's like
farty party. You're all invited.
It's like you're such a primate.
My dad always used to call it tree frogs.
What the fuck,
Dad? It's mating tree frogs. You can tell that they're in heat because they put off a set of pheromones that smell bad to humans, but are attractive to other tree frogs. So it was always blaming on tree frogs.
Yeah, uncle jokes are better dirty dad jokes. Uncle jokes have hookers and stuff in them.
Yeah, but uncle jokes sometimes are actually true.
Yeah,
and that's what makes them scary.
What I love is I just love the simpleness of Justin. That's why I love you guys all so much, and I love meeting everybody at Heroes Con, but there are a few people that I really look forward to having a drink with at some point. Justin is one of those people that I enjoy sitting down to have a drink with at one point.
Are you saying that he's the Boo Radley of the comic community?
I don't know who Boo Radley is because I'm a simple man, but
hey, that's fine.
I'm just saying is that I enjoy sitting down having a conversation over a whiskey with Justin Birch, as do I do with Austin LeMay and several other folks. But I like meeting everybody.
I'll sip a cocktail with you. I'll just probably be plastered.
No. I don't want to have a conversation with you.
Okay, don't worry, we won't talk together. I'll talk at you.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
Like
as long as I can have a whiskey in my hand and I can go.
Listen.
Lady F, I didn't hear your name on that initial list.
I'm bringing myself. I'm coming with a cocktail, Karen style, and being like, oh, you were talking about something? You guys were enjoying your time? Fuck you. Move over. I'm getting a seat.
Actually, I might enjoy spending time with Lady F.
It's over now. Now you're going to have to pay me for a signature.
All right. Never mind then.
Boo Radley was known for his handwriting. No. So do you really see some of the writers and stuff during breakfast time at the Westin?
Yes. Yes, writers and artists all the time.
So I will shit myself.
Because a good majority of them stay there, because that's if they're being put up by the con, especially, that's where they get put up, and so then you see them as you're sitting there at breakfast, they'll come in or sit in their little things all the time. Yeah,
you know what?
They're normal people. They eat food.
I know, but like, you know what it's going to be? It's like, first of all, I really, really want to meet Chris Claremont because he's awesome, and I could say like a lot of nice things about him and just talk about him. But I part of me wants to go up to him and be like, so how cool is Louise Simonson?
So aside from just breakfast, though,
don't tell them how cool John Byrne is.
Yeah, they don't.
Breakfast is one thing, but then it's the also now that the main bar is gonna be back open and stuff again this year at the Westin. It's a good number of them are all down and hanging out at the bar and stuff at the hotel. It's just,
let me tell you something about Spider-Man.
And if you time it right and you follow them, you could ride the elevator up.
Shut up and not say anything and be awkward.
No. I always say I always pull the Barney and I go like, "Have you met Justin?"
He is a Ringo nominee, but he lost to San Sakai, so that's how you just.
Met Justin.
After reading Usagi Yojimbo, I have a newfound appreciation and love for Stan Sakai.
No, what he's done is he's done Art of War.
Let's admit it.
This dude has gone Sun Tzu, Art of War, and learned his enemy front and back. He said, I lost to this man. I will know him. I will know. And so he's now gone through everything that he's ever written, and he's going to destroy him now.
The only good thing is at least Justin didn't get to know him intimately yet.
Not biblically.
Yeah, that's the last step.
Yeah. That's the last.
No, that's the second to last step.
Oh, okay.
The last step is prophet.
Oh, I was going to say the last step is defeating him.
No, the last step is always prophet.
Okay, so then the third to last step.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because beating him leads to prophet.
I don't want to go to work. I don't want to leap to any profits today.
Me either, but we'll be wrapping up here in just about 9 minutes or less because that's when I have to go actually plug myself into
ChatGPT.
Work. Well, not, I'm going to actually interface on. I'm going to go join a meeting online with video pictures of other people and have conversations with them.
How do I even know you're real? What if I'm just talking to an AI right now?
I am.
Oh God!
The difference is that I am not. I don't have 6-pack abs or large buxom bosom. That's how you know I'm not AI.
Is that what AI has?
This seems to be to me.
Mm.
Nobody would make a avatar to look like this.
Willingly.
Exactly. It was more like a bad AI experiment.
And that's how he'll fool you.
Like your preset option number 6.
Body type 7. What I always loved is like the video games, you get like the different body types, and you get on the males, it'd be like body type whatever, and it was like some really big old gordo fat fuck. And when you get to the women, there was no such thing as a fat woman on there. It was just like you got the biggest body type was like the Amazon.
It's an ass, and then skinnier.
Well, you'd get the super skinny where they had nothing, and then you'd get like the middle ones where they were like big, huge butts and tits, and then you'd get the last one, which was like the Amazon.
Yeah. That's who I picked when I was doing my Diablo thing. I got this big Amazonian woman. I was like, this bitch is going to be a linebacker.
Yeah.
What are you giggling about, buddy?
Drew, he's like, don't downplay your bosom, Rob.
I don't know why I find that funny. I just think it's funny.
Well, that's why Justin and I were bosom buddies.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You guys motorboat each other?
Shh.
Well,
in there?
What happens at Heroes Con stays at Heroes Con, unless it's on YouTube.
How many drinks I have. And then,
whether or not his wife is with him or not. Are you bringing your wife with you this time?
No, she will still.
Wise decision.
Yeah,
it's a wise decision. You know what they do? They just get in the way of you buying things you really want.
You know what? And they get in the way of motorboating between you two.
Or spending more money than you want. You should.
Mutual male motorboating. Triple M cubed. Not C3, M3.
Not to be confused with the BMW.
Yeah, that's gonna be my charity is mutual man motorboating. And then I can have my booth next to y'all's, and it will be good. It will be good. Ooh.
With great motorability comes great responsibility.
Motorboatability.
Yeah.
Now there's a t-shirt.
Motorboating for America. I'm going to hell.
Well, yeah, that seems like you could do a whole line of like, the Motorboaters Club and like t-shirts like you're like it's supposed to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that motorboating across America.
Motorboating, for success.
Motorboating
against cancer.
Look at that hair.
What is it? If for every motorboat you do, one small child in Africa gets $1.49 or something.
Gets a new pair. Yeah.
Like play the Sarah McLachlan song, but just some guy being like this into the face.
You gotta have the puppy dog eyes as well when you're at it.
Somewhere in a third world country, there's a woman not
getting motorboated. I think
motorboating brings us together. That's right.
It will. I think. I just think that it would. I am all for de-escalation, and I think that
that's what's going on in Gaza. Not enough motorboating. If they would just motorboat each other, they could.
You guys will just put down the drones and put down the guns
and bury your face into somebody's bosom.
Into the bosom of your fellow man.
We could. So many things could be solved. Just think, you can do the same thing in Ukraine.
World peace,
come on, guys.
World peace in less than 24 hours.
It's just.
Can you imagine the amount of oxytocin generated from all that nuzzling, skin on skin, touching?
Oh, well, there we are.
Oh my God, I got to get out of here.
Izzy, any last words?
If anybody's interested, you just DM me and we could talk about it. A proceed will go to Comics Curing Cancer.
Phenomenal. Justin Birch, any final words from you, sir? Thoughts, deep thoughts, promotional?
Stan Sakai.
Yes. That's it. I like that. Just that simple. Nothing more. Open to interpretation. Lady F?
Protein-specific degradation.
I'll share something a little more on a complete thought. Just again, remind everybody that link, Comics Curing Cancer. See you at 1766. Get yourself some gear for the show, and see you Saturday wearing your Comics Curing Cancer gear. We'll see you any day you're there. And if you're not there, don't forget also the Comics Curing Cancer art book available for pre-order on the Big Cartel shop. For all these things, you can either go to Linktree, but also comicscuringcancer.org, by the way, our main site now has, you scroll down a little bit, there's Austin's been keeping it up for us. Got links to the Big Cartel shop, links to the merch shop there as well. And of course, tonight or sometime today, I don't know when, but sometime today, another big announcement from Comics Curing Cancer about what's going on at Heroes Con. So make sure you're following and check up on that. And that's going to do it all for us here on the Legion Lairs Pop Culture stream, as it's so eloquently titled. And just remember that we are Legion. Bump-a-dum-bum-bum.